And hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the NYVTmedia Sports Show. I'm your host, Keith Harrington. Our show is brought to you by Greenwich Ford at the traffic circle at Route 40 and Route 29 in Greenwich. Greenwich Ford, make the switch to Greenwich at Greenwich Ford. And our first outside show of the season here. Of course, we probably would have looked funny doing it in December, but it is spring sports season, softball and baseball season, tennis season, track and field, lacrosse all underway now. And we are outside today here at the Ken Birch Athletic Complex. And joining me today is Brie Gould and Frank Hunt, coaches of the Granville Golden Horde softball team. And thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
And off to a great start. I remember this is, I think, your third season running the program. Is that correct? Third season?
This is our third season. It would be four, but we had COVID year.
Right, exactly.
So COVID year, we had that gap year. So yep, this is our third season together.
Right, and I remember your first season, I was coaching HFE, and you guys were taking over the program, had some work to do to rebuild it at that time, and I've got to congratulate you because the program is light years away from where it was when you guys came in, so great job on your part.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we put a lot of work into the program. It's coming along, but yeah.
Yeah, we got to tell you though, the kids are just awesome to work with. The kids that we've had the last 3 years that I've been a part of the program, and you know, Brie was even a part of the program before that with Lexi McWhorter.
Yep.
And you know, the kids that we've had for the last 3-4 years that are coming up through here have just been awesome kids, very talented on and off the field, so they make it fun. And, you know, they make it worthwhile to just be here and be a part of it.
Yeah, Lexi, speaking of Lexi, doing a great job with Argyle. The Argyle team's off to a quick start this year. So be a little bit of a rivalry game there. She's got those guys playing really good ball. You guys are playing good ball. That should be a lot of fun.
Last year it was a one-run ball game.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah. It's always fun, you know, going back and playing teams that with coaches that you've worked with.
Right.
It's always fun.
Now, you know, of course, a big step, you know, pitching has been the big difference for you, whether it's high school softball, high school baseball. You know, I think you guys, when Lexi was running the program and then when you guys took over, pitching was something you were searching for at the time. And now you've got Lauren Bascom, who's one of the best pitchers in the league. Really off to a great start in the Adirondack League this year.
Yeah, Lauren's definitely been, you know, a big asset to the team. You know, she's still young. She's, you know, a sophomore, and so she's got a few more years, but she's just a hard worker. She works really hard on season, off season, and of course, you know, we got her and Barber, you know, the catching and pitching duo. They've been working together, you know, for a lot of years. And, you know, we got Rachel Beaver, too. She's been, you know, a long-time pitcher in the system, and, you know, she's there to help out whenever she needs to.
And that's great to have Rachel because a lot of teams don't have that luxury. So to have another pitcher, that's a bonus, really.
Oh, yeah. Definitely some icing on the cake there. Yeah.
So, you know, we talked after your first game over at Fort Ann, and you were talking about one of the things you need to work on this year to move forward. Had a good year last year, but would like to take steps forward is scoring runs, hitting. How's that coming along?
You know, from the jump, from the first day of practice, we said we are coming out and we're swinging. We're being aggressive with the bats, and they've stuck to that. You know, they've came out, they've swung. I don't like holding on the first pitch, so I give them the green light. If the first pitch is there, you're swinging. And I think that's made quite a difference this year, giving them that confidence booster from the beginning and, you know, giving them that green light. If it's there, take it and be aggressive with it.
Right.
You know, it's been difficult for them to make that adjustment, though, because you know, Keith, in the league, you know, you got the 40-mile-an-hour pitches and you got the 60-mile-an-hour. So they have to learn to make that adjustment, and that's what we try to do in practice. You know, we're using jugs today. You know, you walked in on some jugs practice today. So, you know we got some good teams coming up here very soon, so we're throwing some high speed at them. And the last few practices, you know, we were throwing some speed at them. So they're gonna have to work to make some adjustments there, you know, and that's what's been the most difficult part. But you know, they're swinging hard, they're being aggressive, and that's what we need them to do.
Somebody like Maddie Gould, I think, is easier for some of your kids to hit off because of timing. And sometimes it's to take on somebody like Maddie Gould or some of the top pitchers over at Lake George or whatever the case may be. They're sometimes, I don't want to say easy to hit because she's not easy to hit at all, but it's easy to hit faster pitchers, the slower pitchers, the timing is just difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially for the the heavy hitters.
Yeah, the travel ball kids that are seeing that kind of, you see a pitcher like Maddie once or twice a year. Those kids that are playing travel ball see somebody like that all the time.
Correct.
Right.
So started off the year, took on Fort Ann in the opener, got a nice win there. Always nice to start off the year with a win. Had to feel good about the way your kids played that day.
Yeah, it was the first game of the season, so you're not quite sure how to go into the first game of the season. You have a game plan, but game plan you can follow, or it's just going to fall apart. So we just set a game plan and we stuck to it, and it was a great game. It was a great game.
Having been there at that game, it seemed like it was your typical first game of the season. You come out, it's a game you're hoping you probably can win, but the girls are nervous. It's the first game. And then as the game went on, you guys got looser, more relaxed, started swinging the bats better.
Well, and you don't have a lot of outside practices at that point either. You got a lot of gym work in. So, I mean, that first game, you're still knocking rust off, You're still trying to get that outside feel for things. And, so the first game's always, a question mark. But when you come out of it with a win, hey, looking for good things after that. So.
Yeah, I look at the first game as the preseason is one big puzzle. You have all these girls, and it's just about putting them in the right spots. And in that first game, it's really without a scrimmage. That first game is really, is this puzzle going to work? Do we need to make adjustments? So that's what the Fort Ann game was, and I felt like the puzzle pieces fit together quite nicely. So we've been rolling with it.
And then the last couple of games you've had, the games against Corinth here, that was a tough game. That was a battle.
Oh. Yeah, that was.
You guys trailed, right? Trailed late.
That was a heart attack game.
Yeah.
I was looking for the AED, and we didn't have one. It was over at the boys' field.
Yeah, somebody had actually messaged me. I think I was at maybe Hartford. I think it was at the Hartford Fort Edward Whitehall game that night.
Yeah.
It was at another game, which I usually am somewhere. And somebody messaged me and said, you guys were ahead, and the next thing you know, it's like they're behind in the seventh. I'm like, what?
Yep.
But that's just a true indication of the girls that we got, Keith. I mean, the girls, they battle. They just battle. They don't accept quit as an answer. And we went into that inning, up by 3 runs, and we came out of the top half of that inning down, by 6 or 7, whatever it was, and they just came back in the bottom half, and they just started to grip it and rip it, and that's what they do.
Right.
And that's all we can ask them, to do is just battle.
Right.
And they do.
And you guys, I think, have got depth throughout your order and on your bench, I think, too. I mean, the game at Fort Ann, you brought a couple kids in that didn't start the game and swung the bat really, really well.
Yeah.
I think you guys seem to have depth throughout your order, and depth even, your starters and your kids off the bench.
Yeah, definitely. With our order, there's girls that we can place anywhere in the order, and they're going to get the job done. And I don't see top half, I don't see bottom half, I just see a straight order, and the girls can hit anywhere in any spot, and I'd be comfortable with that.
That's and that's been very encouraging too, because we've got some young players up too. We got the Beaver, the younger Beaver sister, Melissa up, and we've got
Melody
Shinsky up,
and
Megan Hover, and they're just making good contact.
Yep.
I mean, it's just very encouraging to see that.
Yeah, you got a good group of young kids along with your veteran players. I was just saying to the sophomores were putting the net away, and I go, is it the sophomores that you guys had net duty tonight or something like that? I said to them.
Yeah.
But you got a good balance from veteran players to younger players.
Yeah, and it's funny because sometimes I have to remind myself who's at what grade level, because when I look at them, I see them as like, are you a senior, are you a junior, like what are you? And they're like, coach, I'm just a sophomore. I'm like, no, you're not just a sophomore, like I don't, you guys, all to me, you guys are all the same level, so I don't see them as that.
So Glens Falls you got coming up here, this will air after that game is over with, but are you trying to play some teams? I know Whitehall's playing Queensbury, Hudson Falls, Glens Falls, Schuylerville. You trying to play up a little bit in your non-league to try to help you get ready for down the road? I mean, that's what a Glens Falls game I think is good for. A lot of those Foothills Council teams are tough, right?
Yeah, I don't think we really tried for that, but I mean, it just worked out where,
Yeah.
you know how difficult it is to try to work games, busing, you know, we have busing things
Right.
going on and stuff. So it's hard to try to find games, but, you know, Arch got a hold of Brie and reached out, and, you know, and it just so it works out, you know. We also have, you know, we had a tournament scheduled, not really a tournament, scrimmages scheduled with Polteny.
Right.
And that got rained out. So, I mean, we'll try to get some games in where we can and stay under that maximum amount. And
Right.
Just to get the kids playing ball, you know, they just want to play. So.
Exactly, because I was talking with Pam Patorti over at Whitehall, and she was telling me the one reason they're playing the Foothills Council teams, and I didn't know too much about this, when they go to the sectional seating meeting, strength of schedule means a lot.
Mhm.
And even though maybe they, you know, only have one loss in the Adirondack League, which I think they went undefeated right in the regular season last year, then lost to Lake George in the championship game.
Right.
And people look at that and they see that you're not playing top competition, and they score you down for that in the sectional seedings.
Yeah, it does affect sectionals, but you know, sometimes we're lucky to finish a season with just the league games, getting games in due to weather, due to scheduling, you know. So we're lucky if we can get in a non-league game in the season.
Right.
I think putting them earlier in the schedule is our best benefit, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
Right. So what would your expectations be of the season this year? Goals for the team and just expectations where you'd like to get to this season?
Well, listen, my expectation is, my goal is just to get her through the season here without getting hurt, all right? She's carrying my granddaughter, for crying out loud, Kate.
Yeah.
I tried to talk her out of third base, coaching third base. I said, let me, you know, we get our big sticks up there, you know, and they're just drilling balls down third base, and I close my eyes, and I'm like, that's my granddaughter you got down there with you.
Yeah, and it's funny because the parents that sit right there too, they're like, "Oh, be careful!"
She won't give it up, Keith. But you know, I'm just trying to have someone else maybe explain the risk factor to her and help me out.
Geez, I never had that problem. People would be like, "If you can't hit a fair ball, try to hit the guy down at the third base coaching box if you possibly can."
You know, the girls have, you know, they have goals, and we set goals small and we work towards them. You know, and. You know, last year we finished 500, so this year the girls want to be better than 500. So we're working on that every day.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately, you know, last year, I mean, we went to sectionals. We got beat first game. They want to go a little farther in sectionals. So I mean, it's just baby steps, but that's what we're working for. You know.
Right. Exactly.
Just little goals, and you know, just to be better. And you know, our goal is, you know, we'll help them to you know, get their goals and to meet their expectations and goals, but ultimately we just want them to be great human beings, on and off the field.
Yeah.
You know,
have fun and play some softball. That's what we're all here for.
That's it.
Yeah, because it's those memories. Nobody's going to remember what your record was 10 years from now, 20 years from now, but everybody's going to remember the good times you had, and
that's right.
You know, that's the key. That's the memories you make.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I said, I mean, they're a great bunch of kids. They're, you know, they're very competitive kids, but they're there to help each other out. You know, at the end of the day, they're there for each other, and that's great. That's a great feeling to have. That they're just great people.
Right.
So
you know, Easter Sunday, we got the family going. Does softball get put aside on Easter Sunday, or?
That's another sore issue, okay? Because my wife and I, we're heading out of town, and we're not going to be here for Easter Sunday, so it's our first Easter that we're going to be out of town. So the kids are a little, they're a little wound up on that whole deal.
Well, my parents are going out of town, and my wife and son are working, so I might end up over at your house.
No, it's funny, but most family conversations,
I know where you get
dinner
a good ham if you're hungry, all right?
I might be home cooking a ham, so when they get back from work, that'd be the best thing to do is they get home and have a nice ham dinner. You know. So you guys told me about this. Them sitting in the special chair here, the Jay Rathman chair.
It is.
I'm honored.
That is the Jay Rathman chair.
Jay, awesome. I'm sure you'll be watching Jay because I know you always watch all the episodes. So I'm honored to get to sit in your chair, Jay.
We're a little disappointed that he retired, and we miss him dearly.
Right.
And, but we still have his chair, and of course, we let special people sit in his chair.
Well, that's great. You know, we were over getting breakfast at the restaurant there a couple of weeks ago, and I said, when we were checking out my parents for buy-ins, and my mom was up there, I said, watch this guy. If he sees me with you, he might charge us double.
Yeah, right.
One final story, then we'll wrap it up. We got to talk about our umpiring career together.
God.
So Frank and I have traveled different paths to the same place, I guess you could kind of say. We both have coached, and we both umpired together. But I would talk about the story earlier about we were umpiring a game, and Frank had other plans that night for work, and the visiting team was late at the game we were at, and the game started way late. And you're supposed to check the equipment. We probably shouldn't be admitting this publicly,
right.
but Steve McCorder is probably watching now, but our Bo, is probably watching.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bowmaker. So we're like, we don't have time to check the equipment. We got to get this thing going. Frank's got plans, so we're like, all right, we'll just tell him we check the equipment. So the game starts. It's first inning. Frank's on the play. I'm out in the field. I'm going, something's not right here. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I just know something's not right. And then suddenly I notice it. It dawns on me. Timeout. Frank, this batter has an illegal helmet on. Frank's like, what? I go, no face mask. Frank walks over and looks at her. She's all right. Her helmet's just on backwards. She had the face mask on in the back. So, but, we certainly could sit here and talk umpiring and coaching stories all day long, but we're kind of limited on how much time we have. But as soon as I knew you guys were going to be on the show, I'm like, got to tell that story.
Are you still umping?
No. This is it. I'm sports writer, sports broadcaster, show host.
Yeah. Well, listen, you do a great job with the border country sports. And
I'm busy.
Yeah. It's great that you get the exposure for the kids. And
the now with the paper, I think we're adding more things and looking at new things this is new.
Yeah.
And we're looking at new things all the time. And I got to retire so I can just do all this stuff full time sometime.
True.
And maybe that's somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
Full circle, because that's what I started doing originally, and then went into teaching. So I guess my life would come full circle if I went back to it full time.
Yeah,
but
definitely. We definitely appreciate everything you do.
Awesome, I love it.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, guys, for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having
Good
us.
luck tomorrow.
Great.
I'll probably be here at the game tomorrow, and good luck on the season.
Well,
as you know,
keep your fingers crossed. It's not raining.
Right, exactly.
No rain.
Thanks, of course, to Austin Crozier, our producer, our cameraman, for helping to get all the show put together every week. And of course, we want to thank our sponsor, Greenwich Ford, at the traffic circle. You can't miss them right there in Greenwich, Route 29, Route 40, right where the traffic circle is. Greenwich Ford, make the switch to Greenwich with Greenwich Ford. That's going to be a wrap for today, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm Keith Harrington. This has been the NYVT Media Sports Show, and we'll talk to you again next time.